Homegrown Radio.
Hello, sanbonani, dumelang, abusheni, inhlekani, dimasiari abudi, riko watanganetsa kampikane yashi ya utoma, the first ever episode of Let's Talk Lingos. I'm not going alone. I know it's the one and only Maureen Nghanakati ya Motsonga, but by my side, I have the queen herself, Miss Peaky Parker in my building.
Hi, hi.
You are welcome.
Thank you so much.
Don't you feel like it's an honor to
It
be
is.
part of the first episode? Like,
I'm even out of words. Like, I'm speechless.
whenever you see this, you must know it started with the girl herself.
Yeah.
Anyways, on this podcast, we are talking nothing else but languages. That's what ilingo means, languages. And today we are talking about native languages. Mm-hmm. So when you hear the word native languages, what do you think?
In my mind comes different languages.
Okay.
That's what comes in my mind. And how many languages do I even know how to speak?
Yeah, we're about to take up the news.
I hope I know as many as I thought I knew.
So before we kickstart this episode, I want to start with a quote that I love and it inspired this podcast.
Yeah.
It's a quote by the great Tata Nelson Mandela. It says, if you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. But if you talk to him in his own language, it goes nowhere else but to the heart.
Exactly.
So do I touch the heart? This native language speaker is a baby person because, guys, whenever you are in the midst of baby people, you can feel it, you can sense it.
Really?
So, in that note, I want to just break it down to whoever will be watching or listening that native language is just the first language a person speaks. Some would say it's your mother tongue, the language that you get from birth. So it can be your father's language or your mother's language. But it just comes to my head when we talk about this. Why about your mother tongue? And half the time
it's always on the dead side.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why?
I also don't understand why. And they always say that we nyantel tsuling,
Yeah.
But always like, which language do you speak? And like my father's tongue. I'm like.
So it means we are pressured as women. So that when we give birth to children, and our husbands are in other tribes, I must learn isiXhosa so that my kid really takes it from the breast, as they say.
With me, I wouldn't do that. So if it happens that I know isiXhosa, I like it to that kid, but I won't talk to them using isiXhosa. I'll use my own language. Then the dad will have to use isiXhosa.
No, I like where you're going, ne? So I want to understand that in terms of native languages, I know your native language is Sepedi, am I right?
Sepedi, yeah.
Yes. So is your native language from the father's side or your mother's side, or is it a double mix?
Lucky enough for me, it's from both.
Okay.
Right? So my mom is Pedi, my dad is Pedi. But the trick is, Spedisa tenga sitwani.
Yo,
right? So now Spedisa tenga sitwani. So that's why you find when I am speaking Kaspedi, this Pedi man, it's like, because my mom is from her Skukune part, and then my dad is from the Bulukwane side. So the Spedi is not the same. So that's why my Spedi is not like, you can't really tell if Isako Bulukwane or Skukune, yeah.
All right. So now, I was this kid who is a mixture of parenthood.
Yeah.
So my dad is Tonga, my mother is Swati. Here I am in the crossroads of native languages.
Yeah.
Fortunately enough, my mother was versatile enough to speak Xitsonga, Xitsonga, and all that.
Yeah.
So I take that as a native language, my language. But how important it is as a person, knowing how to speak your native language.
It is very important. I mean, when you know your own native language, it's easy for you to pass it on to your child, whether you are the mother or the father. So as a child, I think you need to learn both. This thing of us saying, Hore, I'm only Tonga or I'm Pedi. Yes, it's confusing because you have two native languages, if I should put it like that. But I think if you get to know from your parents, you two, at least you can say, I'm lucky enough to have two native languages, I think it's a great thing to know two, not one.
Okay. So I want to test you, Hore. Are you familiar with the stats or with the lifestyle? In South Africa, and we all know that so far, We've got like, how many? Is it 12, 11?
11.
Official native languages, right?
I think it's 11. If not.
Mara Sonche ba di tlatša, South Africa re tletše. What do you guys think? I mean,
Yeah, we need more.
comment, tell me something. Ke nagana gore Sonche ba di tlatša. Because ke nagana gore now we have 11. If they add your sign language, we have 12.
Yeah.
Now, ke nagana gore from a girl who's from Pretoria, shout out. Bafaka Spitori kara, you know. Re kgona gore la re tlhaka-tlhakantsha man le madlang-gadlang.
Le madlang, o tswa ko madlang ke wena.
Exactly. You know, all those languages. I think if they add that already, we're 30.
Yeah.
And now we've got people coming to our land. And I think it's fair enough. What do you think?
Also 8. Yes, I think it's fair enough. Like I'm teaching myself how to bulela, Shona. I only know how to greet and all that. But
Maswera se.
Maswer. Zuribo.
Zuribo. I've got the girl. I can sense what it's the aura. So, girl.
Yeah.
Now the estimated, I've got the stats that I got when I was checking my research. You know, you need to check the people. You know, even the cops want the evidence. And if things don't have evidence, you are not the girl or the guy.
Yeah.
So, Sindebele has 1.1 million people speaking Sindebele in South Africa. And then Sepedi, we've got 4.6 million. Southern Sotho, we've got 3.9 million. Swati, we've got 1.3 million. Tsonga, we've got 2.3 million. Tswana, we've got 4.1 million people speaking it. Venda, we've got 1.2 million. Yo, ona le baadli.
I was waiting for that part.
My God. Like the Zulu people. Yo.
So it's 10 point something.
Yo. It's a lot. Like it's 11.6 million.
I was almost that close.
And then the Xhosa people come with 8.2 million. Like, I have a challenge. Why is this Nguni people challenging us?
I think, Barry, it's the easiest language that we have in South Africa. So that's why.
So, onagana gore xesha elidikile is simple.
No, according to them, it's simple.
Okay. Which Nguni language do you like? Can you speak properly and articulate?
It's the Zulu one. Sizulu nakesibet. But to be honest, I think I'm more fluent in Zulu than in my own. You know, because growing up, so I used to speak a lot of Zulu. So the only time I'd speak Sepedi, and sometimes I'd get confused and I would want to explain something to my mom, like, Mama, wabona imoto or koloi. And then my mom was like, I mean, imoto or a car. And then my mom would be like, koloi, and then I'm like, oh yeah, koloi. So I grew up playing with a lot of Zulu kids.
So I just want to have a brain teaser with you. Do you think Zulu people stick to their language no matter what happens?
They do, hey?
And do you think they're stubborn?
They are, hey?
Zulus!
Judging from the Zulus that I know,
okay.
Yeah, I'd say they are.
It's not my voice, it's the girl.
I had to.
So, yeah, and I think one other thing that I've observed, we accommodate a lot of Zulu people in our lives. Eh?
We do.
Accommodate. I'm this person. Fortunately enough, I'm fortunate to can play around with different languages. But trust, I'm gonna switch and go. Yeah, it's the same thing, yeah. But it's funny how even if they get to Limpopo or whichever part of the country or the world, they will never say Lunale guy, never.
Never. So born.
They're like, exactly. Like they never adjust for our sake.
And Luana, you'll never respond them because I man, like.
So exactly why I was like, you know what? This has to happen. We need to learn the different languages.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to have a Zulu speaking person in this podcast. Also, what do you think? Do you think we should invite that person?
Yeah, that person should most definitely pull through. They need to explain to us and tell us. And there's something I don't even understand why. Like we switch to their language. We don't like stick to our language.
Like listening Mbora, literally. But You know, I'm going to get to that point where I'm like,
it's okay.
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. But if you are Zulu, you are watching, you are listening, pull through because, hi, we just want you for one time. You know, speak the Tsonga, the Venda. But I'm worried, why is Tshivenda the lowest spoken language?
To me, I think it's because, to me personally, it's difficult. I've been trying to learn how to speak Tshivenda. I end up speaking Chitsonga. That time, I'm saying, get Tshivenda. To me, it's very hard.
The duba la musi.
To me, Tshivenda is very hard.
But what is the hard thing about Tshivenda? Because I know, when you ask people that, or like, how do you speak Xhosa? And people will be like, no, whatever you're saying, just add clicks. You know, when you go to Sepedi, and then people are like, no, faka chiyela, and then you'll sound Pedi. But now, with Tshivenda, what is so difficult?
I don't know. I think the words, they're like, Boduba. You understand? So to me,
so you must have breakfast before you speak.
All that, like you must drink all the energy drinks. You need to have, and it's such, to me, it's nice. No, it sounds nice, but hey, speaking it, it's hard.
But I just long for a day where we can all speak our native languages and then we can still hear each other.
Yeah.
Like I can confidently go Tsonga and nobody looks at me like, she is a migrant. Where is she from this one?
Yeah.
And you having to speak Sepedi. Imagine Sepedi responding as Tebele, responding as Venda, and then you've got Swati, and then they put in everything in it.
That would be so dope. It would be like, I wonder how when you're speaking to someone who oblelang Sepedi and then you're using English, and then lakushisha,
language. Whose native language is English?
I also want to know, because it's messing us up.
Right you
the native language, because now you end up mixing. I don't know if it's just sentence also fake just lina la school.
Why are our workspaces? I mean, I guess on the job description here, this person must be able to speak Sepedi. Unless if it's translator job or you have to read the news or a broadcaster.
I think it's because it's one language that we all can understand. Even though we can understand. I think that's why I think the next language they're going to choose is isiZulu.
Go to they must choose all of these languages. They must choose all of these languages. So, before you get in any further, there's another state.
Yeah.
Me and states, guys. I'm just saying that there's like, I found out that there's 57 million people who can speak more than one tongue.
And I'm proud to say I'm part of those 50. Is it 57?
Yes.
Yeah. Proud of.
So how many can you speak?
I know how to speak Zulu, because I'm still trying.
So let's go. Zulu 1.
Yeah, Zulu.
Yes.
Xhosa.
2.
Chitsonga.
3.
Should I add Sepedi? But it's my own. Yeah, Sepedi. Then English.
Yeah. English English
it would be nice if I add Tshivenda there, but
so, on that note, I've got some decos on my table. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
So in this situation of mine, there are languages. I need you to pick out one language. Don't look at them, just pick out.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath in, pick out a language. I like it because was it one of the ones you counted?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope I won't regret this.
So hold on to that language. We also have got our... Do you watch movies? Our beautiful decor here. So it's the quote of the day.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up our podcast, you're going to read the quote of the day. It's written in English. But now, you're going to have to translate it in Xitsonga. If I say vulavurisa hi Xitsonga, xichangani xa ka hina xo tshongola.
Wana man, ntazama ku ri ni translate.
U se twa thobile ka ntazama. Tsonga people, ay. Sure, yeah, no. Miss Picky Parker. Now that you are this person who stays in a different place, I get a little is half Skukuni.
Yeah, and half Polokwane.
And half Polokwane. Yeah. Now you moved into this place where you have to make life happen.
Yeah.
How we would put it, right? So, did you struggle coming here? But you still confidently speak Sepedi and nobody is going to make you feel like, no.
So, now, you know, so like a couple of months. I was still a baby and probably 6 months or 3 months, I don't remember. So so that's why. So from Bunyaneng. And then so I grew up speaking a lot of Zulu until there's this friend of mine, family friend. So Kimupedi. So every time she'd come visit, she doesn't care whether you're Zulu or Xhosa or whatever. So that kind of like made me think, I also need to practice how to speak Sepedi and take pride in it. So I do speak Sepedi, but if I speak Zulu. I switch. So now I'm working on my Xitsonga. I want to be fluent in that language.
So I'm challenging you, you know, for this coming week. I know I'm not going to see you, or like I get or call you every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm challenging you to not switch to Zulu.
I won't.
If you meet Zulu people,
I won't.
Like ustike ore na ke mopedi wa gae.
I won't.
O bolela Sepedi.
I won't.
Then
I won't.
She's not switching for your sake. Now there's this quote that I like. It says, "The languages in South Africa are windows into a storied past and a complex narrative that continues into the present. Only time will tell. The country's linguistic legacy will play out in the years to come." Now, do you think this is true?
I think it's true, but at the same time, I think, because I want to know, we're more focused on English most of the time.
Okay.
So I think refocus. You know, when you don't know your own language, it doesn't even bother you. But if you don't know English, it bothers you, right? Or it bothers other people, if I should put it like that. So time will tell.
Like our schools, the Model C schools, so they call them. Now they've initiated this thing of putting languages, like they literally lure kids to learn a native language as part of their curriculum, like why it's a Nyamudi subject day. So I want to hear from you. What's your take on that? Do you think it's fair? And also, before you answer the question, what I realize is a challenge if maybe this is war school mang mang or school Saint Mama, when they put a native language, the challenge is they only put one native language. Others choose to just put Sizulu fail.
Yeah.
But here is Piki Paka who says, now I'm fully on baby. Here's Maureen who says, men mchanga. But you are putting in a native language that is Zulu. And now, therefore, my kids can take a native language that is Zulu. What is your take on that?
So I think it's a great thing because I know a school that has the native languages, and my friend used to go to that school, which is a Model C school. So I saw it as a good thing, as a good opportunity as well. For you to go to a school, because they say modern school is the best school, and then you get to find your native language, which is so dope. And my other issue is that the government schools, they're taking out certain languages. So you find out a certain school, government, there's only isiZulu and Sepedi only. They're taking out the Tonga, they're taking out the Xhosa. So I also have a problem with that as well. Why are they taking the the other native languages out because now I'm forced to learn how to speak isiZulu. Whereas go hire Motsonga. So that's the other problem that I have at the government school. And the Model C school, I think it's dope. I think we need to have that a lot. Like, you need to have options. If I want to go to so-and-so word school, I need to find, if I want my language as well, I need to find it there. I can't be forced to learn another language.
So what strategy would you use or idea would you initiate in order for our kids to learn native languages? Because I can't lie and say I've got nieces and nephews. And 2 minutes I turn my head when they visit me, they're like, Money, we want this and that. Money, get me this and that. And I look at him, I'm like, you are Tsonga. And then my mom comes, the guy is like there. He's like, Ntukulu Amina. I'm not Ntukulu, Gogo. And I'm like, Echo, this is your language, you know? How do you not know that grandson or grandchild means Ntukulu in your native language? So I want to hear from you, Buti. Maybe we should share tips, ideas, because I feel like if I get one, I'm definitely going to make those little guys learn it. It's like,
I think it starts with their parents, you know?
Okay.
So because obviously when you're a kid, you don't choose which school you want to go to. So if Africans, and when they get home, they need to learn home language, So yes, at school, they can go and learn that. As parents, we need to teach our children our own native languages. Because the native languages, they speak English because so that's why you find when you're talking to this child, like, it's more like, I can't even hear it there. You understand? Because come here. So if Mama Haya or the father, the guardian, whoever lives with that child, into a native language, that's where it's going to be good.
So you say it lies with the parent?
Exactly. Because first of all, as a kid from grade 1, right? So English it's fine, but
that's challenging, eh? Like, it's really, you just challenged me because I realized how much whenever he speaks English, I majestically switch with no worries and no doubts. But it only hits me at the moment, like maybe we're in the zone of speaking Venek or whatever, and then it just comes back, no man. I have this other language. So it becomes a challenge to say, I've never taken that responsibility. So I need to be responsible enough to say, no. Lena, I played a part into him being this twangy kid and speaking all things English.
Exactly.
So parents, it lies with you.
Yes.
So right, just on that note, Ms. Pikipaka, thank you for coming through.
It's a pleasure.
Being part of Nongonoko Waina was Sungula, while Let's Talk Lingos. Can't wait for more. And I'm grateful for Ketomile Loena and Utomile ke motho wa gageso wa Sepedi. La motseba man, o na le semelo, ba re ke semelo.
You know some words I don't know, I'll just say
Am I challenging someone in their native language? 10 points for me, Pikipaka 0.
Just like that.
As we wrap up, I told you there is this situation here.
Yeah.
And I'd like you to take out and read our quote of the day as we close the day and translate it into the lingo.
So it's one quote here?
Yes.
Okay. To have another language is to possess a second soul. Hey!
Does the quote have an author or a writer?
It's Charlemagne.
All right.
So I need to translate. Okay. To have another language is to possess a second soul. Okay. Loko una is it liling me or liling? Loko na lilimi lingwe. Iku fumana mbiri. Yeah, that was terrible.
High five for trying. So, Pikipaka owes us as 5-second clip saying that code in Xitsonga.
No problem.
So next episode, we are going to start with Piki Paka saying that code in Xitsonga. So she owes us. So I'm going to put it on to her. I'm not going to give it to her. She is going to find out that Xitsonga, she says she's learning. In a 5-second video. On that note, thank you very much for joining us on our first ever episode of Let's Talk Lingos. I can't wait for more. I'm still Nghanakati ya Motsonga, the multilingual queen, in the building with Miss Piki Paka. Thank you so much. Much love to you. I'm going to see you next time.